Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to this tech demo for MiCRO 3.1.1. I'm in my VS Code project here, and we can kind of see all the things I've got laid out here. General VS Code settings, a bunch of miscellaneous things, makefile and executable, and we've got all the includes for all the third-party libraries that I'm using. We've also got all the different libraries, binary libraries for different things, Windows, Mac, and Linux all on here. And we've got the resources, we'll come back to that in a second, and then we've got the source files. So besides building my two physics engines, Bullet Physics for 3D and Box 2D for 2D, I've also got all of my different header and CPP files here, right? So this is just kind of a general utility HPP file that defines maybe some static variables that we're using in a bunch of different functions, right? And then the actual CPP file implements it. So I got a bunch of different things going on here. We've got the audio engine, for example, that uses fmod to make dynamic audio. We've got actor items for different things we might need on an actor, the general running functions, the event bus. Images, we have kind of built-in components for sprite renders, text renders, a bunch of different rigid bodies, both 2D and 3D. All the different kind of rendering functions that we might need here, and just some general physics functions. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg, but that's kind of how I have my project laid out here. So how exactly do we actually go through and make a game with the engine? So you're going to see in this resources folder, this has everything that we need to make a game. So if we look in the documentation here and we go through and look at the MiCRO markdown, we can see that it's got a bunch of information about different classes that are available to us and the functions and variables that come with that. We've got the list of all the different lifecycle functions that I provide. We have the formatting for different configuration files and different JSON files that you need here, and just general namespaces that you might need to use for basic functions. So we can go through here and we see there's a bunch of different folders for audio files, for different images, for different fonts. We've got some shaders here which aren't necessarily going to be changed by the user. This is just how I'm using my OpenGL rendering here, just some pretty basic stuff we got there. And you can have different actor templates that outline what an actor might look like. So for example, here we've got a block that I want to have render a bunch of different faces on it, and I want to attach a rigid body to it. I can do that all here. We can have a scene where this defines a bunch of different actors, right? And then we got component types, which are just kind of custom Luas here, Lua scripts where you can add different functionality and do things that you might necessarily need. So one of the biggest things that I put into MiCRO 3.1 or 3.1.1 is 3D physics and 3D rendering. So we can go through here and look at this tech demo. We'll see some different things. We'll go through and quickly look at some of these triggers. You can see as the triggers separate from each other, they change colors. And as these boxes move around and they contact with the ground, they also change color. We've also got text rendering here, right? Can move around in 3D space. So yeah, we've got kind of that basic 3D rendering and physics setup. Now if you want to change games, that's actually super simple. All you have to do is go into your resources folder here. We can take all these resources that I had, put them back into my bullet demo folder, and then we can actually take this game here and just plug this into our resources folder and run our executable again. It's going to run the same game engine intro, but when we go through and load the game, you can see we've actually got a little basic Minecraft demonstration here, right? Just in creative mode, spectator mode here, right? You can see we've figured out the culling on the blocks, so we don't have to render all these faces that are inside. But transparent blocks like glass are still going to work, and we can place blocks around them, and you'll see everything on the sides. Right, so you can just kind of go and build here, break things as you want. This is a pretty basic demonstration tech demo thing, so I haven't put any blocks in your hand or any particles from block breaking. But you can also see that we've got, basic sand physics here, right? For any of the gravity blocks in Minecraft, you can see that works as you might expect, right? And they can just fall off to infinity. So right now we're just running MiCRO on the terminal, but we can actually put it into an app here, right? So I've got my Grapple Master game where you just click this app and it goes ahead and starts running. And we can just go ahead and use this as we normally would, right? Play the game on here. And the only thing that's changed is that we put a different game in that resources folder. It is a lot more fleshed out than those tech demos I had. If you want to go check this out, You can check it out on my GitHub. You can also check out the documentation for MiCRO a little bit more on there if you want. It should be in the GitHub folder. So we can go out there and exit, and you can see if we go into the app here, it's pretty simple, right? We've got the actual icon and all the different things that you might need for a normal Mac app. But when you go here, really all you just need is the dynamic libraries that you're linking against, the actual game, and then the MiCRO executable. So super simple. All right, so I hope that cleared up any questions anybody might have had about MiCRO. I know I haven't made my code public, so it's a little bit of a mystery as to how this all works under the hood. But hopefully this answered some questions, and yeah, hopefully you learned something interesting. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.